Smith is your brand and mountain biking is your sport, do I have some recommendations for you. Stick around. Hello and welcome. I'm Eyeglass Tyler. Today I'm going to be talking to you about our top picks from Smith for mountain biking sunglasses. They're all going to be really good options. I'm going to give you a little bit of a range depending on what kind of aesthetic you like, but they're all going to serve you really well. It really, I think, boils down to how you like your sunglasses to look and fit a little bit as well. They're all relatively similar in size, but we'll talk about that when we get into it. All of these do have a nice lightweight frame material. You want to make sure when you put your sunglasses on, you don't have to think about them anymore. You don't want them to be uncomfortable. You don't want them to be falling down your face. And while we're talking about falling down your face, we're talking about grip. And all of these have grip, whether it be in the nose or in the temple. Actually, only one of them doesn't have both. I'll talk about that. Almost all of these can be done in prescription. So if you're an RX wearer, you're still in good hands. Really everything except for this first one. Again, I'll talk about that in just a moment. If at the end of this, you are ready to order, don't forget about SportRx. Definitely don't forget about our See Better guarantee, because with that, you're never stuck with something that you don't like or just doesn't work for you. Maybe I describe what to expect really well, but you just find in reality, they just aren't for you. That's totally fine. You actually have as long as 45 days with them to figure that out. Even if you get them in prescription, we take care of you. Just reach out to us, no matter what that means on our end. But also, by the way, we have opticians, very trained, very knowledgeable, very friendly, who would love to help you get it right the first time. So you can always reach out to us. All right, well, let's get into these frames. We're going to start with the newest addition to Smith's lineup, the Shift Mag. Really cool. As you can tell, before anything else, this thing is huge lens, huge amount of coverage. It is a full shield design, so there really isn't any way to get more visibility, more unobstructed vision than with this. It is, however, more of a 5, maybe 6 base lens curvature, which is pretty unique. I think that just really that design element alone really lends this to being a little more of, maybe a bit more aimed at youthful, kind of hip aesthetics. Usually you have with a shield design a lot more curvature, and so this doesn't curve quite as much, and you have another element that makes them, I think, a little bit more on that hip end of the spectrum, full frame around it, which is pretty unique. Really cool style. I am a big fan. It is definitely one of my top picks. This does have grip all over, nice, a bunch of grip in the temple, grip in the nose. While we're talking about this nose, first off, the grip in the nose is more of a saddle style design, which I love because it's going to help disperse the weight of the frame a little more evenly, but also it is going to grip better because there's more contact, surface contact area. But they even built in a little bit of adjustability in this nose pad design. If you can hear that click, it's because I'm adjusting the nose pad back and forth. So you can make it a little wider, you can make it a little narrower. So that's a cool design feature that I think might be worthwhile for some people out there who've had trouble with bridge fit in the past. This also has a quick interchange functionality, the only one on the table that can support interchangeability, which is really cool. This has a little magnetic clip right here in the temple that you can only open up when the temple is closed. So you don't have to stress about it happening while you're riding, but you just press this little clip here and then the frame comes apart, which is really cool. You don't have to stress about it being not secure, insecure, unsecure, because it still is, even when the frame is apart, you still have 3 clip points on the top of the lens and 1 clip point in the nose bridge where it is still locked in place, where you have to kind of pop it out. Probably worthwhile for us to do a how to interchange on this, but I don't need to get into that right now. Really cool style. I am excited about this addition to Smith's lineup. It is available with the ChromaPop lens technology. As you can see here, this does have the photochromic option as well, which is going to give you a little more versatility. If you're not familiar with photochromic, it's light sensitive, gets darker as it gets brighter, and it clears up as it is not as bright. This is the only one on the table, like I mentioned earlier, that cannot be done in prescription. Unfortunately, shield designs are inherently unfriendly when it comes to RXability and prescription capabilities. So keep that in mind if you need prescription. This unfortunately is off the table. When it comes to sizing, this has an SFW of 136 millimeters, which lands you at a medium to large for men or large for women. Next up is the Pathway. This is a relatively new addition to Smith's lineup. It's been in the lineup for a season or two. I like it. It is a little more unique of a lens design. You have kind of this tapered lens design on the top, a little more kind of angular lens shape, which is pretty cool, but a huge lens. And so that is one of the things I think that's the biggest win on this frame. This is the only frame on the table that has more of a wrap design. This is an 8 base lens curvature. So if you like something that's more wrapped, great option for you. The benefit of a wrapped is it's going to give you a wider range of visual field. It's going to give you more unobstructed vision because the lens curves around your face. Not as RX friendly. Unfortunately, it can still take a prescription, which is great, just not as wide a range of prescriptions. So do keep that in mind. They do have their grip material in the nose and in the temple, that Megal grip material, which is hydrophilic. It absorbs moisture, so it grips better even as you sweat and it gets wet. They went with their Evolve bio-based frame material with their auto lock hinges, which is very secure, very durable. This isn't as lightweight as the other options on this table. That's one thing I didn't mention about the Smith Mag, by the way. It is surprisingly lightweight because it really is just like the frame material is nothing and it's just the lens. So anyway, I don't know, I'm sorry, I already finished talking about that. This is a solid frame. If you're looking for something that has a giant lens and a little more wrap, it's awesome. This has an SFW of 136 millimeters, which lands you in that men's medium to large or a women's large. Hey, if you're enjoying this Smith mountain biking content, but maybe you have additional questions, or perhaps you have prescription related questions, we'll reach out to one of our very friendly expert SportRx opticians because they would love to talk to you and help you through that. And for even more lists and top picks for Smith frames, we have videos and blogs. We'll put a link in the description below. Next up, another relatively new addition to Smith's lineup, the Emerge. I've been liking this frame a lot. It's a really cool looking frame. It is a lot more of kind of an athleisure option, a little more of a crossover pair. It has a 6 base lens curvature, which is a more kind of everyday pair design. So this is going to look great on and off the trail. They went again with their Evolve bio-based frame material, so nice and environmentally friendly. They do have grip on the inside of the temple where it makes contact with the side of your head. A little more low profile, especially at the temple tips, which is going to be a little more accommodating for helmets and hats. There is a lot of grip as well on the nose, so you don't have to worry about these sliding off your face. Nice and durable, and really they feel substantial in your hand, which is great. It does have a little bit of a sort of I want to call it a keyhole bridge. It's not perfectly keyhole, but it's enough. I'll call it a keyhole bridge, which is a little more accommodating for a wider range of bridge shapes and sizes, nose bridge shapes and sizes. So that's nice, a little more accommodating. Definitely RXable. You can put a wide range of prescriptions in this thanks to that 6 base lens curvature. When it comes to sizing, it has an SFW of 138 millimeters, which lands you at a men's large or a women's large to extra large. Next up, we have the Smith Outback, and I'm realizing as I'm looking at it, I totally lied to you. This is another option that has an 8 base lens curvature. So another good option if you like something that's a little more wrapped. It feels, obviously I was looking at it overhead and I didn't notice it. At first, it doesn't come across cosmetically as quite as wrapped, but it still has that functionality. So I don't think that really is a notable distinction. This is another nice wrapped option, a little more of a squared lens shape, still an impressively large lens, so amazing for the trails. You do have that Megal grip material. In this case, it's on the temple ends, which is where it makes contact with the top of your ear and the inside of your head, as well as kind of an embedded grip material in the nose. This has those auto lock hinges as well, which makes them super durable, nice and fuss-free, and very much RXable. Again, it's an 8 base, so it's not quite as wide of a range of prescriptions that it can accommodate, but still definitely it can handle prescription. And with an SFW of 139 millimeters, this lands you at a men's large or a women's extra large. And last but not least, we have the Smith Pinpoint, another relatively new addition and another good option if you're looking for something more in that 6-base lens curvature range. And what does that mean again? That means that it's a little more, I think, friendly to everyday wear, that kind of athleisure approach. There is no grip in the temple. This is that one that I was talking about that is missing the grip in the temple. It does have a nice beefy nose piece here that is a little bit more of that saddle style. I think it's a really high saddle style, so it might not make contact with the very top of your nose bridge, but still a good option. Relatively low profile temples, actually the most so on this table. And that's going to help with helmet compatibility, hat compatibility if you're wearing hats a lot. Good option. Solid style, 6-base, big lens, Evolve bio-based frame material. It is also a TR90, which is nice and durable, top tier frame material. And again, like I mentioned, those auto lock hinges are good on this frame as well for durability and for staying on your head. Chroma pop lenses, of course, available and very RXable thanks to that 9-base lens curvature. And in the nose piece, that big beefy nose piece is also that Megal grip material. This has an SFW of 140 millimeters, the largest on the table, landing at a men's large to extra large or a women's extra large. That wraps it up for our top picks from Smith for mountain biking. If you know and love and trust Smith and mountain biking is your sport, you really can't go wrong with any of these options. And I hope that you have some strong contenders for the next perfect pair for you. If you are interested in any of these styles, stick around for a short moment longer. We'll have an easy to click shop now button. And again, if you are ready to order, don't forget about our See Better guarantee. I really think it gives you a ton of peace of mind. And if peace of mind is your thing, peak peace of mind is going to come from our opticians. This is the last time I'll mention them because I think it's really a great option if you want that ultimate peace of mind, because they'll help you get it right the first time. So you can always reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was interesting or valuable information. If so, throw us a like because that helps us out, you guys. You can find relevant videos over here. If you are ready to shop any of these awesome styles, you can click this button right here. Also, if you're looking for some fun and exciting and new content, I think you should check us out on our social media outlets, because we have really cool stuff there and I think you'll like it. That's why I'm recommending it. Otherwise, I wouldn't.